So I'd like to offer the homily for this Sunday, the 27th week of Ordinary Time. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. The Pharisees approached Jesus and asked, "Is it lawful for a husband to divorce his wife?" They were testing him. He said to them in reply, "What did Moses command you?" They replied, "Moses permitted a husband to write a bill of divorce and dismiss her." But Jesus told them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, he wrote you this commandment. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, no human being must separate." In the house, the disciples again questioned Jesus about this. He said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another, she commits adultery." The Gospel of the Lord. So I'm actually doing 2 weddings this month, next weekend and the following weekend. So this passage for me is very relevant. And my hope with every couple whose marriage I witness is that they'll persevere until death. When they get married, I think that's the plan, right? That they're going to make it, that they're going to have a beautiful marriage. It's going to be wonderful. But there's certain pieces that need to be in place for that to happen. The first is Christ needs to be at the center. There's an expression, it takes 3 to get married, it takes 3 to stay married. And I always tell husbands and wives that you can't meet each other's needs fully. You need to give your neediness to God so you can give your unconditional love to your spouse. You need to lean into the heart of Christ so his love can work through you to touch your spouse. You need grace. You need Mass more than once a week. You need confession more than once a year, hopefully at least every month. You need our Blessed Mother. I have a beautiful image of Mary behind me. The rosary every day. You need to be having a real relationship with Christ and the cross. I have a cross behind me. Hopefully a cross is hanging in your bedroom to remind yourself. Marriage is hard. Sometimes I'm going to get crucified with Christ. Sometimes my spouse will. Sometimes both of us will. But there's got to be a real relationship and a real love for Christ that sustains this bond. Because the devil is going to try to divide you. Your passions are going to try to break this up, make you selfish. It's a long haul. It's a marathon. You can't just white knuckle this thing. And sure, you have a couple of good years, but at some point you're going to hit some bumps. If you don't have a really deep love for Christ, if you don't have a sacramental life of confession and Mass, if you don't have a devotion to our Blessed Mother, it's just not going to work. As a husband and wife get closer to God, they get closer to each other. As you get closer to God, you get closer to each other. God blesses that. The second point I'd say about marriage is you need to compromise. You both need to die to yourselves, to your wishes, to your desires. You can't get your way. You can't win all the time. I live with 8 priests and mission corps here in my house. And we're always compromising. We're always sacrificing. We're always, making it work for each other. And that's why we have such a beautiful community. There's that effort, right? And I think the third point is you need to have some shared passions. I know a couple in New Jersey that's really beautiful. The husband loves to cook and the wife loves to garden. So on weekends, what do? They garden and they cook together and they throw dinner parties. So it's beautiful to see the husband working in the garden with his wife on his knees, getting his hands dirty, moving bushes and digging holes. And he's not into that. He doesn't like doing that. And to see his wife chopping onions and cutting carrots and getting the table set with her husband. Why? So they can be with each other. So they can physically share those experiences they both enjoy. I think that's really, really helpful. To go where your husband or wife needs you to go. My mom, really funny, she never wanted to play golf. She didn't like golf. My 2 brothers and my dad and I played golf all the time on vacation. So we'd go to Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, and we'd say, "Hey, Mom, you want to join us?" "No, thank you." And she'd stay back with my sister, which was okay. But at some point, my sister got married, and then it was just the boys and my dad. And my mom said, I think I need to learn how to play this game. So I taught her how to play golf. And she did not like it, but we loved having her out there. We loved having our mom with us on the course. And she went where she didn't want to go because she knew that's where the boys were going to be, you know. So I just encourage all of you, put Christ at the center. Learn how to compromise and find a shared value system. And I think God will bless your effort. The greatest gift you can give your kids, the greatest gift you can give your friends, the greatest gift you can give yourselves is a beautiful marriage, and you need God's help to do that. God bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.